Hunting for whites after the cancellation of the release of money. Mencius Moldbug. November 18, 2009. Unqualified Reservations. Narrated by Skeptical Waves. Hunting for whites after the cancellation of the release of money. There was recently a disturbance in an area of Paris that is normally much better shielded from the world's slings and arrows, the 7th arrondissement. This created some striking still and moving images which can be viewed, by French speakers, at the racist frog blog François de Souche. One is at once reminded of that darkest of modern French voices, Emra Spy. Due to the universal degradation of the 20th century mind, I am an uneducated boor and have no French. Presumably others here are in the same predicament. Therefore, I thought I would allow Google to translate some of the comments left by various ranted chez M. de Souche. I suspect many of these mots were bonds to start with, and Le Goog has only improved them. If you want the original story, it is not bad with TF1. The article's title: Hunting for Whites After the Cancellation of the Release of Money. There is no text, only video and images. From the comments. Commentary number 701, Underdog. In countries where Paris will end soon in a can, you are in and all in a garbage can. Commentary number 705, although anti-thinking. It is not F. de Souche of extreme right, or else it is the reality that is far right. Commentary number 713, Chris. It is their denial of the reality that they're farts in the mouth. Commentary number 714, Badger. A little deeper and the evening of the morning will be within reach of real people who suffer. Commentary number 715, Jamie Orta. I have carefully the article by Daniel Schneiderman, very politically correct, which critics are limited to superficial acquaintances, politico-media, financial and alleged exploitation of misery. Unfortunately, the causes of this fiasco is much more simple and trivial, measuring the lack of citizenship, in total disregard of others' freedom and physical integrity, as the concealment of the most elementary laws governing collective societies, all with hundreds or thousands of offenders, criminal extravagant unbridled behavior by staggering impunity they enjoy and widely abused. Commentary number 721, Herzl. Under an unspoken racism on the part of Gouvernansky is to be perceived as if they were animals, or disabled, etc., we forgive them all. They can shoot at police, burning cars, etc. etc. But one of us raises his voice, uses only one word louder than the other, and it is cooked. It does not forgive him. It is only to remember the arrogant tone of the officer who stops you in town for a minor offense. But it is important to dump its frustration of not being able to bludgeon the pests that the emergent every day. Commentary number 722, Sardos. Belle invention, the color photo, the whole world can see the state of France after 40 years of living together and meet a solitary Jacobin. Commentary number 726, Ice Bear. The sores of urban city centers are beginning to feel the spicy breath of youth and diversity of their vivre ensemble soft neck. My opinion is that requests for exiles, overseas positions and applicants for a destination Erasmus will face a serious inflation in the months and years to come. Commentary number 727, Ice Bear. On the last video image, fugitive Bobo, a young female currently in Valib, escaped before the troops of Sildavien, humiliated and misunderstood, was born on my dirty face, chalk male hetero morning smile and elone of cynicism. Reviled or who evil thinks. Commentary number 730, Patton. Woe me, and unfortunately I say that the violence committed by Raquel Afro-Maghrébine in the 7th arrondissement is very bien. J hope that residents and shopkeepers will understand that they too do not have the abri this type of event. I also hope that this will open the situation experienced by thousands of their countrymen who are not lucky enough to live in neighborhoods until the preserves. Law solution would be locked up all this scum and deport them and their families by military in the country of their ancestors in withdrawing well on their way to the carte identité French, and that French nationality as the article provides for a civil code. Ditto for the French Algerian who found a brothel in France following the defeat in Algeria. If they love both the country of their parents and who they return, and if it still will be the coffin or the bag. Commentary number 731, Dear Rasaid. Have you the link to the picture of the Wild with his machete? Extract the video of the riot? Thank you to give. Commentary number 734, Florent. What is worrying is that this type of marketing campaign has held in other countries, and in France it turns to confrontation. When we listened to the comments, there was a cultural vacuum recess. We want the mesh, a concept of money disconnected from his senses. Furthermore, they realize the actual cost of things? I mean, it's easy to break, but how are they able to conceive, create, produce, car, bus, Glass window? We meet with monsters consumer but that is disconnected from the reality of the object. They know how to use it but do understand that very few functioning and especially its cost in terms of energy, hard-working people around the world for their offer turnkey. He does not understand the meaning of the struggle and the commitment to long-term. They are in the company of zapping, the instant and instinctual. They want so they will do anything to have. They eat and are in a samsaric any dissatisfaction that grows increasingly angry. They are not adults but eternally young in search of lost again in search of new sensation. They are acculturated people, uprooted for the most part. They are perfect soldier as a leader. They hate France and the French but French. They hate America but are dressed from head to foot all their bearings and cultures comes from the USA. They report a fascination repulsion toward the West. They live in a world of violence and hate relation between future. There has listened to conversations, vocabulary, often poor, and use words to understand the mindset. The language is a reflection of an open mind and the way we perceive the world around us. Once the finding gives what? We'll have to reclaim neighborhoods and the first political act that is linked to everything else, is the rejection of illegal immigrants, working or not, stop all subsidies associations. Let the French take over the leadership role on its own territory. The right of the soil must also be stopped. We'll have to sign a social contract for engagement with responsibilities in French society. You do not come in France to do business, that is to say making money after all means, and enjoy benefits. For young people who were born in France, he will have justice more appropriate. The sanctions must be based on education and redress. You break, you pay and you redo. The money must be taken where it is located, home, car, bank account, social security benefits in the family. For foreigners, the double jeopardy should not be in order, it should be mandatory expulsion, with responsibility for the whole family. When AC deal in the family everyone knows and everyone benefits. When the next riots that will happen is the weapon with curfew. For multi-juvenile offenders, the army or in Djibouti in the forests of Guyana, with a development project to the key. There is strong that we will bring calm and tranquility. Because the rate things are going a civil war in less than 10 years, with looting in Paris I'll arrive. Commentary number 743, Zombie Nation. Henceforth, and in agreement with the city team, any public event involving at least 100 people is not recommended for Caucasians. We invite you to celebrate the music in you, dancing to the techno parade in front of your TV to show your couch. Commentary number 756, Roscoe. Basically, those who are most to blame in such case, it is the FDS. All these different, they do their job, their thing is to make runs to Paris and to attack anything that moves. They love it and would be wrong to deny, since nobody's stopping them seriously. Opposite, the cops, who should rust it all is, simply to arrest 2 or 3. Judges release them instead to exercise the utmost severity. Media defend them and wallow in denial of reality. Policies refuse to take their responsibilities. And FDS base continue to vote UMPS. In short, we have what we deserve. I hate the different, but I cannot blame them for doing exactly what I do it for them. When there's an open bar, would be stupid for ordering a Perrier and request the bill. Commentary number 761, Stay Behind. To calm the animal, he must let go, not the money, but real cats. Anyway. This is just from the top page. Clearly, I could go on forever. Let me add one more. Commentary number 116, Claudie. Testimony. For me I found myself caught in the middle of the riot at any time, and I am amazed at the gap that may exist, as usual, between what I saw my eyes and what the media reported. What they call degradation of urban furniture and angry people were actually strips of black armed with crutches came exclusively to vandalize and rob people. I have witnessed attacks on people for their camera, these people face in blood does not seem to understand what happens to them. The most outrageous is that the police were visible throughout the riots. Some companies have invested boulevards after 2 hours, when everything was finished. So as usual tonight at 20 hours information will be a brief 20 seconds before entering the main subject and elementary imposed by the media, the football god. And too bad for the victims of blood I saw, too bad for traitors whose window was shattered, so much the worse for mothers asphyxiated in tear gas, never mind the tourists who will never return in Paris. I notice that it happens for a very long time, the police are back, the media obscure the subject, and the victims? They do not care. Fortunately, here at we do care. Our human liabilities.